Hey guys, it's Laura, your Cheeky Crafter, and this video I'm going to be working through the Stamps of Life June 2022 card kit. It has a lot of camping themed items, and so this first card that I'm going to put together is a slimline, and that's because the paper pad that was included this month was 6x9, so it allows for easy slimline cards. This card is actually 8 3/4 by 7 1/4. And then of course once that's folded in half, and then that leaves a little bit of a border when I cut my paper at 3.5 inches wide by 8.5, I think. Anyway, so I'm just putting some stuff on here. I'm using some of the enclosed decorative items, the camper that you can cut out if you're part of the Die Hard Club. This banner, I've attached a puffy tree, and the sentiment in the top, never stop exploring. I just put that on some yellow paper that I cut from a die to make it look a little bit like a sun. Then I've got a flamingo and a wreath for the door. Well, the flamingo is for the yard, and then a small little campfire. So I'm just putting all these things together to kind of decorate the card, create this little bit of a scene. And this is, again, a slimline card, and I did make 2 of these. For my second card, I chose this super cute bear paper, and I'm just going to throw a little piece on the inside because I had some left over. So that way the inside of the card has a little bit of the bears too. But this is a very simple card. I'm just going to take a cutout of the bears, put it on some of the light khaki-ish colored cardstock. I'm not sure what the name is. Then I've got a little piece of ribbon that I've cut to go around the top. Then I'll attach that to the card base and then feed another piece of ribbon through. And I'm just going to do a single tie here, not a true bow, just a little knot. Trim up the edges. Then I've got a sentiment that I stamped from the enclosed, I think that's Words for Camper. It says, "Wishing you wild birthday adventures." I was going to put it in the top middle there, but then it covered up 3 bears, and I thought, well, that's not good. So I left it there. Then for the third card, this again is a very simple card. I took the scallop circle punch, and you can see also where I've cut out happy birthday there in the background. Cut out the paper that just says enjoy today. Then I've got the happy birthday that I cut out from the deco card set that came in actually the July kit. I'm working backwards here. I'm a little behind. I cut some ribbon, put some double-sided tape on it, and then attached it to opposite ends of the card just to give it a little decorative touch there. Then I will attach this to the card front, and then I'm going to get to work on the inside of the card. And for the inside of the card, I'm going to use that rectangle pop-out. So that's kind of neat. So first I cut this white. I just cut this paper in white to mount the happy birthday on. So I'm going to get this glued down. And this pop-out calls for 2 of these pieces in white to be cut and adhered. So the second piece is where I'm assuming that you would write your message to the receiver of the card. So I'm actually not going to attach it because once it's attached, it's nearly impossible to write on the way that the card is set up. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the happy birthday, but the other one I'm just going to leave it blank, and I will enclose a note if somebody wants to send this card themselves, or if I send it, then I'll just wait, write my message, and then attach it. So now I'm just lining this up inside the card so that I can make sure I get it where I want it, putting the glue on the outside flap, and then I will press the other side down so that I make sure I get it where I want it, flip it over and do the same thing on the front side. This way I can make sure I lined up if I want it in the middle, more towards the top, whatever. But you'll see when I open the card here what I mean about, first I'm going to throw a few epoxy dots for a decorative touch. But when I open it up, you see how it pops out, and that makes it almost hard to write on if it's in there. So like I said, I'll just wait until time for the recipient to get it, and then I'll enclose my message. So as I was finishing up this card and I go on and look at all of the papers that I have left, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not really filling cards with some of this paper. I don't do a lot of camping, and I only have one set of friends that I know that regularly camps. So I thought I'm going to take these remaining papers and create a small little book for them to have for their camping adventures. So what I'm doing, because this is a 6x9 paper pad, it makes it really easy for this. I'm just going to fold all the papers in half. The part that's going to be on the inside is what you will see in the actual album. And because this gets folded down to 4.5 by 6, you can easily put a 4x6 picture in here, no problem. And then I'm going to also, when I glue these pages together, they will create pockets. And that way, if you've got maps or tickets for something that you went to, or other little memorabilia from your camping trip, you can slide it in these pockets. So you'll see what I mean here. I've got these first two glued together, and you'll see where it's created a pocket. So I'm just going to glue on 3 sides all the way around. Now, caution, make sure you put your paper all the right side up. And you'll see when I open it up, there's the place where you can put pictures, and then you've got this little space for pockets. And so I'm just going to keep doing that and go around through all of the pages and get them adhered, one on top of the other, creating pockets after each set. Now that I've got them all together, it's time to put a cover on here. But first I'm going to go through, make sure all the pockets open, make sure none of the pages are stuck together. And if I see that the pages are sticking together, I'm just going to use my little, that's actually a baby sock just full of baby powder. It's what I use to remove the static before I emboss, but I also use it to remove any sticky on stuff. So I'm just going through, and because it's baby powder, A, makes it smell good, and B, doesn't let the glue be sticky anymore. So anywhere that the glue ran over, I just hit it with a little bit of baby powder, and then I can just brush it off. So now I'm measuring to make sure that my cover paper is going to fit just right. So I've got this, another sheet of that khaki color, and I'm just going to wrap it around and ensure that I properly fit it to be the cover of this book. And then I will glue it on. So right now I'm just using that bone folder to kind of create that crease. And you can see I've still got a little bit over. So I'm just flapping that down. I'm going to take it over to my trimmer, cut it off, and come back. And of course I cut it maybe just like 1/32 millimeter or inches, whatever, 1/32 of an inch too short, but you won't really be able to tell. So I'm also going to attach this ribbon so that the book will itself close. And so what happens here is, as you add pictures and memorabilia, of course your pages will get thicker and thicker and thicker. So you can see I've allowed a lot of extra ribbon. That's so that as the book gets bigger, it will still close with that tie. So I'm just putting down some double-sided tape, and I'm going to pull that ribbon across, make sure I have plenty to tie it, and with enough left over, there does seem to be plenty, so I'm satisfied with that. And now I can go ahead and attach the cover. I wanted to wait until the ribbon was on so that it would be covered by the book cover, and that way it's another way to reinforce it staying on there. So again, I'm just going to wrap this cover around and put a little extra there in that binding area where all of those papers are together. And you can see right here I'm just the teeny tiniest bit not completely covering, but you know what, my friends won't care. I should have started on the front so that that would be on the back, but I didn't. Anyway, no big deal. Like I said, my friends probably won't notice, or they won't care. Another thing you can do, which I decided not to do on this particular book, but you could round all of your corners if you wanted to. On the top right and left or bottom right on each of the pages, you could round the corners. I chose not to do that this time. For that title, Our Camping Adventures, there wasn't anything that was specific like that said Our Camping Adventures for a title of this book. So I just printed that off on my printer on some cardstock, and then I just cut it using a die. Now I'm just going to go through, there's a 4x6 picture. I'm just showing you that it does fit. Now I'm just going to go through and decorate some of these pages with some of the included ephemera or stickers or whatnots that were in the pack. So you saw I put a camper on the front. I'm going to do another little scene here with a camper. I'm going to put some grass down, and then just trim that edge off onto the right. Once I've got that done, I'm going to come back and put a little camper on there. And as you can see, I'm just doing it. I was thinking about making the whole page a scene, but I didn't have that same color grass to go on the other side. So I thought that that would look weird if I had 2 different color grasses. So I just decided to do just the one page on this particular one. Then I'm just adding some puffy stickers. I'm going to go on and look. Now, all of these pages have a lot going on, and so I decided that I would just put scenes on the plain sided paper. So here I've got my little bear family, and I'm going to keep going. Got another opportunity for a scene here. So I'm going to do another camper, and this time I realize I do have the same color grass on 2 stickers, so I'm going to do grass all the way across this time. But of course, because I have the fold, I'm going to start at the bottom in the middle and go out one way and then come back and go out the other way so that it will properly close. Because if I try to just stretch one all the way across, it's not going to fold properly. It's going to get real crinkled. So it's just better to do it that way. So here you can see I'm getting the rest of this on there. And again, I'm just using the rest of the puffy stickers that came in the pack to decorate with. Got some good times up here, more clouds, and you can see that's pretty much it. So the rest I can put pictures on. So I'm just tying it up one more time just to see how it looks. And there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.